Jim Rohn told us that it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from other people's mistakes, because then you don't have to experience the mistake and you still get the benefit. Isn't that amazing? Hi, my name is Anton Bennink, and in this Freedom Lifestyle podcast, I like to share anything and everything that I come across on my journey of personal discovery and development, so that it might be of benefit to you. If you're interested in more, click on the subscribe button and you'll be the first to be notified whenever a new video comes up. Let's continue. The fascination of mistakes. Did you know that when Thomas Edison was asked how he felt after having so many failures or making so many mistakes, when he was working on inventing the incandescent light bulb, he said, "I didn't fail once. I just figured out many different ways how not to invent an incandescent light bulb before I figured out a way how to do it." That's a fascinating way of looking at it, isn't it? I also learned from Bob Proctor that failure isn't fatal and success isn't final. In essence, what he's saying, like, if you're successful and you don't continue doing those things that made you successful in the first place, you're eventually going to lose out. And failure isn't final. And why is that? Failure is only final when you quit. So in essence, when you say I quit, you say I decide to fail on whatever it is that you decide to quit. If you don't want to fail, the only thing that you need is persistence. Also, what I've learned from Bob Proctor, persistence is as interwoven with success as the chicken is with the egg. Fascinating, isn't it? Napoleon Hill put it like this: everything that the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. But that's not the whole picture of it. If we really want to achieve it, we have to add one word to the mix. We'd have to say everything the mind can conceive and believe, through persistence the mind can achieve. Because when you are on a journey to realizing something really worthy, a worthy ideal, and an ideal, as we might know, as James Allen taught us so many years ago, an ideal is an idea that we have fallen in love with. An idea of something that is not in our present results or even in our present reality. And this ideal that we are working towards, that is so grand, is probably not going to happen without some failures. It's said that it took Thomas Edison about 1,000 or maybe even 10,000 different ways before he figured out how to create that incandescent light. So in essence, he had to go over more than 1,000 failures to be able to figure out how to do it. So when you are on your journey to success and you feel like you failed, don't see it as a failure. See it as a lesson. See successes, see wins as progressive steps forward. But look at mistakes and failures in the exact same way. When you fail at something, great. You know how to not do something. Darren Hardy also puts it in a fascinating manner. He calls it the pendulum of success. Do you know a pendulum that swings to one side just as far as that it swings to the other side? This pendulum of success basically works together with the law of polarity. And this pendulum is dependent upon how much it goes to the negative to how much it goes to the positive. So if you want a lot of comfort in your life, a lot of security, you're probably not going to experience a lot of great successes, a lot of great enthusiasm, a lot of great happiness. To be able to have the pendulum swing big on the side of joy, of happiness, of purposeful living, of enjoyments, of pleasure, of success, of winning, you have to have the pendulum swing just as far on the negative side as well. You have to go through the hardship. You have to do the things that most people don't like to do. That is immediately also the common denominator of success. The common denominator of success, as we spoke about earlier, is that successful people do those things that unsuccessful people don't like to do. Do successful people like to do them? Of course not. But they create systems and structures in their lives so that doing those things that most people don't like to do, that they turn them into habitual behaviors. And that they turn them into habitual behaviors by changing their paradigm. By changing their paradigm, they change their habitual behaviors, and eventually doing the things that most people don't like to do becomes for the successful people easier to do than not to do. When we want to be truly successful, we have to step out, we have to step up, and we have to step out into uncomfort, into experiencing neglect, into experiencing your haters, into experiencing those people that will say no to whatever it is that you sell, or the idea that you have, or the way that you want to impact the world, or the way that you want to raise your family, work with your family, the way that you want to have your relationships. If you want to have great success in it, you also have to experience the great hardship in it. It is the pendulum that swings by law of polarity just as much on one side as it does on the other. But don't worry, the hardship can actually be turned into fun. You can gamify it. You can figure out ways to turn the challenge, the grind, into fun, into a game. Turn it into a challenge with your team. Those who get the most no's from prospective clients in a week wins a bottle of champagne or wins a trip to Ibiza. It doesn't matter, but turn it into a game. Gamify everything that you find hard to do. And through systems and structures, you learn how to do them and turn it into a habit. We have to step up and we have to step out into uncomfort. It was Dr. Rollo May who said it beautifully. A endowed psychiatrist. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. It is wanting to be the same as the other. It is not wanting to step up and stepping out. It is said, and I don't know if it is true, but I don't have reason to believe it is untrue, that the father of the Wright brothers, who opened up the kingdom of the sky to us human beings by inventing an airplane, it is said that their father, a pastor of a church, told the Wright brothers that they would burn in hell for even suggesting that they could fly. Humans weren't supposed to fly. But now the aeroplane brings us all over the world, faster than we back then could have ever imagined. It is that stepping out of conformity. It is that stepping out into discomfort. It is that becoming comfortable, being uncomfortable, that is going to do in your life what you want out of life. It is only that can bring to you what it is that you want. If you want different results, you have to do things in a different way. Success comes from doing certain things in a certain way. And there is a knowing doing gap, because to some extent, almost all of us already know how to do better than that we are doing right now. But we don't do it, even though we know how to do it. And that causes confusion and frustration. And we start doing even less because of our confusion and frustration. I would love to help you close this knowing-doing gap. Step out into achieving your goals and living your dreams. If you so desire to create a better life for yourself, have better health, better relationships, more prosperity in your life, more abundance, more inner peace, I would love to help you. And I am offering you hereby a free strategy call. You can sign up by clicking on the link in the description below, www.tir-coaching.com, and I hope to see you on the other side. But for now, my friend, I would love to wish you a wonderful day. Live with love and live with passion. Namaste.